And let's turn autofocus off. Like, I know what I'm doing here. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Adrian here for DigitalDojos. And I know I've done videos like this 2 or 3 times previously where I talked about like what I've been up to, what to expect, and how I'm back in the content game. And I haven't lived up to that. That's just full stop, be transparent as possible here. I came up short on that end, and I didn't hold up my end of the bargain. And a big part of me not, wanting to do this very video is because I had that same fear of like not holding my, end and not living up to my word. And that very fear prevented me from doing this video for a long time. And it was only recently that I had to remind myself of why I started in the first place, and to remind myself at the end of the day, especially creatively, you just got to put stuff out there at times. And a couple days ago was my 13th work anniversary, in the sense that I started my original YouTube channel, the Laker Cool Man channel, 13 years ago in 2006. I was an 11-year-old kid with a $20, I think my allowance was like $20 at the time. I used it to buy a webcam, and that started this whole channel. So here I am again with a webcam talking to you, the audience, about where I've been, what I've got going on, and what to expect. Because again, like with that, it's just been so crazy the last year in general and what I've been up to. And it's just like at that point where I feel like I can appropriately focus and tune my, priorities to where I want them to be right now, creatively, personally, professionally. That said, I've been working with a lot of different things, and there's been a lot going on the last year. But the biggest thing in regards to that very, YouTube channel that I was talking about was I made the conscious decision earlier this year to close that YouTube channel, that Laker Coleman channel that kind of started it all. And that was no easy decision. It was something that I really struggled with for a bit, and as a creative, and just more importantly, like what I wanted to do in terms of like with that channel and where I wanted to go creatively. And it just made sense to start new and kind of clean slate. So while that's the end of that channel, it's not the end of my content, so to speak. And you can check out my new YouTube channel down below. There's no content there right now, but that's going to be the house in the main, kind of personal channel. The channel for me to create content about things I'm passionate about and share things I'm passionate about, whether that's vlogs, lifestyle, fashion, what have you. Things outside of like the bubble that I started in as far as technology goes. And like I said, that's why I really want to get away from the Laker Coolman channel, that aspect. Even though, I did vlogs on there and all this other stuff, I just wanted to do something completely different. And I didn't want the previous subscribers, the previous view count to carry along. I really wanted to just start fresh and get in touch with the community again and build that and kind of go at it with a fresh set of eyes. So if you're interested in that at all, feel free to subscribe. But in that internal discussion, I also struggled with, well, what do I do with my technology content? What do I do with DigitalDojos in particular? To understand this, you also have to understand that, like, from a business perspective, like what I was doing from a career perspective and making a living off of 3 years ago when I moved to the States, was content creation. In particular, DigitalDojos, and the content I was doing, not just on YouTube, but on my website, was making me a living until I started screen cap a little bit before I moved to the States. And screen cap quickly became my like main source of revenue. I was never like, it's funny because like I think you get dubbed the term like YouTuber. I was like a YouTuber, quote unquote, like from full-time living, like back in like 08, 09. And ever since then, like it was other sources of revenue that made me my living. But screen cap was that for a while and became the big focus. And when I moved to the States, I quickly shut that down because I wanted to get away from just creating content. I was creating content in dojos. I was creating content for screen cap and doing the vlogs on the Laker Coolman channel. I just felt so like kind of mentally spent and drained. That I walked away from all of that in a sense. And DigitalDojos existed because it was built on the model of like passive income. And essentially it's the hardest kind of form of income to set up, but it's the easiest to maintain in the sense that I was making money off content that I already did years ago. I was making money off of, I converted to a model where I was just doing one exclusive sponsor a month, and that was paying the bills and then some. So I had, kind of, in a sense, this backup income from DigitalDojos. So if I just maintain it for the most part, it was easy to keep around, even if I wasn't creatively involved anymore, even if I wasn't really like, focused on producing new content. And slowly over time, new content not coming out obviously dropped the viewership, dropped the stats, and ultimately like drops your passive income. And that's just quite frankly and honestly, like I said, what happened. It was easy to maintain at a passive level because like who doesn't want to just from a business and personal perspective to generate money off of something that stuff that already exists. But again, I wasn't living up to my creative obligations with that. So yeah, I really kind of just walked away from the content game fully to work on other stuff. And that being said, what was I working on then? Where was I if I wasn't producing YouTube videos or videos for my clients? I had a series of other projects, and a big part of that was going back into IT consulting. And when I moved to the Bay Area, in the last year and change, it was transitioning from IT consulting for a startup to essentially forming my own, forming a business, a company, however you want to frame it, in the last year, and we're just now coming up on our first full year of business. So yeah, I'm kind of happy to announce that my newest company, Network Right. You can check out more information at the website networkright.io. I started out alongside two of my business partners. It was originally two of us, outgrew to three, and we've really just scaled it in the last couple months since we've launched. It was like a transition period to get to that point, to get new clients, to bring existing clients alongside with us, the whole 9 yards, and to really building out the business as a whole. And it combines two of my loves of IT and then scaling and building businesses, and it really just allowed the opportunity for me to work in both of those fields. For those of you who don't know, an IT managed service provider, or MSP for short, what that is essentially we provide IT services to business at a very, very basic level. That's what it means. In a more detailed level and scenarios, I can give you some examples. For example, let's say your business has, and it's a new startup, small size business, you got funding, but you don't have like an IT department. Maybe you have like a makeshift IT guy or girl who runs like, certain things and deals with certain things, but they're not equipped to essentially do that, nor do they want to be doing that, taking away time and resources. But you don't want to hire like a full IT staff. That's where we come in. We offer flexible support models, whether we come in on site to handle your help desk, whether we come in like on a bi-weekly schedule, or we maintain your network remotely and monitoring things and deal with support remotely. We offer all sorts of models and flexibility to these startups, small, medium, and large. And then, adversely, we also help teams who have IT departments already existing. Maybe they need us to do certain aspects of the load or, the workload. For example, the subset of clients that I personally handle a 200 person plus company who has an IT team in place, but I handle the help desk aspect. So the tickets, the support desk stuff, like the actual, like what you would commonly refer to as like an IT guy or girl. When something breaks and you have to go out and fix it, like that's my role in that for that client. So that is essentially what we do at Network Right, and we're scaling. We're based here in the Bay Area. We offer services to the entire contiguous United States. So if you have a business that may benefit from that, feel free to reach out over at networkright.io. Shameless plug. But yeah, that's a lot of where I've been in the last year and plus, because it's something that started out as me doing it independently for another startup, and they were connecting me to clients, and to using that experience, those relationships and that partnership, switching to a model where we just did it for ourselves. We became the vendor in a sense. And it's scaled tremendously since then. And, coming from a background where I've built a couple businesses, some that failed, some that have succeeded, this is definitely one of those ones I've just scaled tremendously in the first like 6+ months of it, being a business, so to speak. And there's a lot of things that we need to learn. I mean, it's the first time I'm getting to do this with people that like physically am around and surrounded by and get to meet with on a daily basis. Coming from a space where I built businesses with people in remote and online teams, it's refreshing. It's something different, something new, and getting to see the business grow day by day. And in a space that I'm like somewhat familiar with, like having built ScreenScap, but at the same time, it's still a total wild, wild west where, we're still learning how to do certain things. The enterprise level, as far as IT goes, I've learned so much just being surrounded by different environments, different startups. It's not like your typical, you see one setup every day. You're seeing different things every day, and we're learning so much because of that. And like I said, IT stuff aside, the business aspect of it, dealing with vendors, dealing with partners, and forming those relationships and client outreach. I'm getting to take a lot of my past experience and knowledge and apply it into different areas. And that's why it's the perfect time for me to kind of make this video. With Network Right, I'm going to be in charge of a lot of the marketing and content campaigns that we're going to be pushing out through there and building this MSP. And I think it's a perfect time for me to take you also alongside that journey, because it intertwines so well with Digital Dojos and covering, the IT space, the news and product reviews. We see a lot of great stuff. We see a lot of great hardware, software. I deal with a lot of these companies that are actually in these kind of IT news cycles. So it kind of gives me that insider's perspective. And it allows me to create content, from a different perspective, I think. And also, like I said, take you alongside the ride of building out this actual business that is in IT. So I'm really excited to hopefully take you alongside that and showcase what the inner workings of that looks like, as a cross kind of platform with Digital Dojos. So I'm really excited. But on top of that, I just feel like the business, it's never going to be stable in the sense that we're growing, we're building out. It's our only first year of business. We're scaling at a rate that's just ridiculous right now. So it's never going to be like totally stable, right? Because we always want to be improving. But creatively, personally, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where all my things have aligned, all the projects I'm working on, my responsibilities are at a place where I feel that, they're set for success, that I can creatively come back to this YouTube thing, this Digital Dojos, and give it the effort and give it the attention that I want to do so. Whereas like the last year, the reason I've stayed away and said that I was coming back and haven't is because I just knew I wasn't in that right space, in that right time frame to do so. And now I know I have the resources and the time, most importantly, to do that. So I'm really excited to get back into the product reviews. I have products that I've already, have lined up, videos lined up, and I'm really excited to get back and showcase. I just really want to come back to the whole Digital Dojos thing and really go kind of full scale in how I approach it and do it in a way that I feel speaks to who I am and why I got started, and not worry too much about the nuances of stuff and just get the content out there for you guys, while at the same time still elevating, still bringing you better quality content, technically speaking, and just overall kind of bringing my own twist to things and how I cover, news and tutorials and reviews, and keeping you as a consumer and the audience member informed, whether you're a tech enthusiast or somebody who's stumbling upon this channel, looking whether or not you should buy product A or product B. Really excited to bring that to you all. Again, revamping DigitalDojos.com, the website is going to be one of my first focuses, and then leading into the content campaigns that I have set up and just kind of rebuilding that out. But again, excited to be bringing that content, excited to be bringing some of the Network Right stuff over and the stuff that kind of crosses over and show you the stuff behind the scenes. But again, if you want to check out all that information, feel free to check out the links down below. And I promise, ladies and gentlemen, this time, stay tuned because there is a lot more to come. Thanks for watching.